Welcome into this Tuesday edition of the Meltdown. So happy to have you here. There is a load of new movies coming out this week for the July 4th holiday. What will Tyler be seeing first? We will let you know. We learned more about Dynasty Mode in the upcoming College Football 25. Does it impress? We'll discuss with what's expected to be another divisive edition of The Acolyte coming out tonight. Luntz's List will provide some friendly pieces of advice that are absolutely free pieces of advice for Disney's Lucasfilm. And instead of exploding fireworks, we are going to have some exploding kittens on today's Tabletop Tuesday edition of the show. It's all happening right here on the Meltdown as we broadcast live from the Culver studio, and it's all presented by MyBookie.
Two big boys in a tiny studio, teaching you and me about everything they know that makes sound. A meltdown, it's the meltdown, time for the meltdown, coming for the meltdown, let's start the show.
Thank you, all of you beautiful creatures that we call Meltdonians, for being here with us live on a Tuesday as we are ready to rock and roll going into the holiday week. But we have a lot of fun things prepared for you on today's show and a lot of fun things prepared for you for the remainder of the week. We will explain here in just a few moments. I am Meltdown host Tim Melton. That is my co-host, the other half of the Meltdown, Mr. John Lunsford. John, that's you looking around for the past decade for an EA Sports college football game. Well, guess what? You're finally going to get one because we've got the EA Sports College Football 25 Dynasty Mode that was profiled today. Kirk Herbstreit did the narration for the much-awaited Dynasty Mode coming back into our lives. Did the reveal of this make you tingly in any way?
Actually, no, because I've never been a big Dynasty Mode person. I've been more of I'll build my own narratives and play the game in general. I'll play it online. I'll play it, like when it comes to Madden, I don't do any kind of I'm going to run a franchise. I'm more of just, I want to play the game. I want to play it against you and you and you. And build my own narratives from there, build my own league from there, do whatever I want to do. Now, the intriguing part of this is we get to play out the current college football landscape before it exists, because technically it started existing yesterday with the new SEC, the new Big Ten, all the new conferences, the 12-team playoff, etc. But we won't see it until end of August, and of course we won't see the actual 12-team playoff until it happens in December. So it'll be cool to be able to play through that. I'm sure people will have many, many seasons. I think a cool thing to do is have an online dynasty where, let's say, we all get the game and we all play, I'm Alabama, you're UAB. I don't know who Rocky is because y'all can fight over UAB. Tyler's Auburn, even though he's
Troy.
an Alabama fan. You're Troy now.
Yeah.
You're Troy now.
See, it kind of runs with Detroit.
Sure.
I'll be Colorado. I like Dion.
Colorado, who...
It's way overrated.
Colorado
that is the common consensus.
I saw a tweet today that said Colorado is ranked 16th in NCAA or College Football 25. It's going to be hard not to call it NCAA.
I gotcha.
They're ranked 16th in that, but they were just picked to finish 11th in the Big 12.
Math doesn't add up.
Math doesn't quite add up when you take into account that the Big Ten and SEC are honestly all actually the best teams. So
I'm going to be very transparent. I hate the Tennessee Volunteers.
I despise them.
I am not a fan of the Tennessee Volunteers, but I think they have a rightful claim that they deserve to be on this list over Colorado.
Oh, yes.
And they're not. They're not in the top 20.
Colorado is on par with
not in the top 20.
School like Vanderbilt. I mean, let's be honest. They won, 4 games last year?
They were exciting.
2 of those games were real exciting.
The first 2 were exciting, and they won those, and it's like, oh, my God, they're the best team on the planet. And then they lost every other game after that. But there's also TCU. I think they beat TCU, Nebraska, and Colorado State to start the season, which TCU had just played in the championship, so it's like, they got to be good, right? No, they were garbage. Nebraska hasn't been good, really, since they've been to the Big Ten.
That's why Oregon's
Colorado State is a Group of 5 team.
That's why Oregon's rated number 3 in the game, because they're the ones that ended Colorado's dreams last year.
They were. And Oregon, I can at least buy because, Dylan Gabriel coming in. You have a lot of talent there, and obviously we're a top team last year as well. James with the super chat. Dynasty Mode was amazing. So hyped. If you're into Dynasty Mode, great. And I will probably play this because it will be different. And I think it was Scott Forster pointed out he's like, because I was watching the trailer once I got here a little late today, and the trailer had just come out, and so I started watching it the minute I sat down. And Scott's like, "Wait, did they just really put a clip out of Clemson wearing MAC jerseys?" Because they showed a picture, and it was Clemson with the MAC logo on it. And it's like, oh my God, I cannot believe of all the work they put into this game, they messed that up that bad. And I was like, hold on, I'm watching the Dynasty Mode trailer. Let's see what happens. And sure enough, they do a whole bit about how you can move teams within conferences. And so it was Clemson winning the MAC championship, because if you wanted to build the MAC as like a super conference, you could do it. So there's a reason they had the MAC on their jersey. But, I think some of that's going to be cool. Like I always loved, I don't remember which game, it wasn't 14, but one of the games before that, I remember making Birmingham Southern in the game, because obviously being D3, they were not in the game.
You're the one that caused all the lawsuits. Good job, John.
It's all my fault.
You're the one that made the game go away.
I wanted to put
And the school.
I wanted to put
Yes.
Yeah, nice. I like.
Nice. Very nice.
that was good. I
was
wanted to
very
put
good.
myself in the game, which is why I put Birmingham Southern, because I have not gotten the $600 NIL deal to go back and put Birmingham Southern's 2007 first team in the game. But I would always kick Vanderbilt out, put Birmingham Southern in, the black and gold fit, the Institute of Higher Learning compared to other SEC schools as it is perceived fit, everything fit for Birmingham Southern to take Vanderbilt's place. And so I love doing that.
Except it actually being a school.
Ooh, God.
It's a little
Minor
late now.
details.
And at the point it was a school. But
We wonder why Vanderbilt won't talk to us here. This is why.
yeah, there were a lot of jokes about Vanderbilt in our Media Days meeting today. But anyway, it's cool to be able to do that. I don't know if we'll be able to take our custom teams. You can do custom teams. I don't know if we'll be able to play with them in Dynasty. That's one thing that kind of worries me, is they have not talked about that yet. In the very opening release, they said, you can build your own teams. We'll have a team builder. You can upload logos online and do this whole, thing to build a team. That's cool, but like, what can we actually do with them? And are we, on the road again to having trouble if we do something like that? I don't know. We'll see.
John, I'm not one of these people. I know you're not one of these people, but there are some that buy this game and they don't ever really take a snap. They just recruit. They just like the recruiting phase of this. They almost treat it like a recruiting sim.
Yep.
And they enjoy that, and they play decades full of seasons without actually having playing any of the games. It's like when you buy action figures and you don't take them out of the box. That's what it feels like to me a little bit. There's that correlation there. Now,
Except that could be worth money someday.
I'm in porn. I just like to write scripts. I'm a script writer.
that's pretty much correct. So I'm not one of those people. You're not one of those people. But those people are probably pretty geeked up about what is happening with this Dynasty mode, because there's so much courting going on, and it starts with that first stage of discovery, and then it goes on to multiple stages after that, including the pitch, and then you have the close, and then you have, regional recruiting in here. You have all sort of things. The transfer portal.
That's the bigger one, is the transfer portal now.
You have all these different
Tyler
avenues.
will crush it playing as Colorado, because that's all they do is go to the transfer portal. They don't actually recruit anybody.
There you go. I just think that this is a dream type situation for those that want to look at it from an analytical perspective, like a Jonah Hill type that wants to play this game, compared to those that actually want to get down there and play the actual game, like me and you.
See, I am looking forward. Like, I'm not a big NFL person. As you can tell, I have ditched the Titans, and I have floundered since in the NFL.
Ditched the 49ers too.
Yeah.
Have you officially ditched the 49ers, or it goes back
never,
and forth?
I never fully adopted the 49ers.
You came in with a hat the next day.
We proclaimed it. I
I
got a
bought a
cease
hat.
and desist after you did that.
I bought a hat. That may appear later in the show. I bought a hat at a 49ers game that I went to on my honeymoon. Therefore, I wore that hat.
He defended his 49ers fandom on the next round, too.
It's more fun to do that
You're such a fraud. I'm just putting that out there.
when it comes to the NFL. But in college, I went to the University of Alabama. I graduated from the University of Alabama. I've been an Alabama fan. Been
6
going to
months
games.
from now, you'll tell us that you didn't like the accolade.
Okay. Been going to Alabama games since
We got a
1991.
little bit of that last week.
And I'm excited to be able to play as Alabama. So that is why something like this, our Madden League was fun. I like playing it as the Titans, although I never once played as the Titans. I played as the Oilers literally every single game, as everybody here can tell you. And I'm looking forward to playing with players like Jalen Milroe, a quarterback that can run. Just like I had Malik Willis on the Titans. I'm looking forward to having my new version of that if we ever actually do a college football league here. I hope that we do. But
Please don't put us through another college football draft this year going into the
Look,
season.
y'all don't like to have
Oh
fun, and
my
that's
gosh.
fine. Y'all don't
No,
like to
it's
have
not
fun.
fun, though.
Lunsford
Oh no,
fun.
I
like
left
Lunsford fun.
during the before the college football part because the NFL draft took forever.
I left halfway through the college football draft,
and
not
then-
even knowing who I had drafted.
I did win that league, by the way.
and then you guys were
But-
there for another 2.5 hours or something.
I love fantasy football, so if anybody out there wants to play fantasy football, I won't do a college draft this year, but I will be in as many fantasy football leagues in the NFL as y'all want to be in because I don't have a rooting interest, so I can just root for my players.
Now, Rockstar, your mentality when it comes to fantasy leagues is be a part of the initial draft. No, actually, you weren't a part of the
No,
initial
I
draft. It was an auto draft, and then never manage your team throughout the course of the season.
I lose interest so quick because I don't check up on stats, so I feel like I'm not.
Have you ever thought about just sitting it out?
Well, when we do these Madden things, like the Madden tournament last year, I was like, I'm not good at it. I'm not one of these super competitive where I'm going to talk trash. Just like I did beat Brown, and I loved that because he was so upset.
I'm not going to talk trash about Brown sucks.
He was the only one that I beat. So he lost to me. I would admit that I was the worst player of Madden. And
Didn't you make him throw the Mountain Dew bottle?
Y'all overreacted. I did not throw anything.
I feel like Madden's a separate argument.
Slapped it.
I understand the Madden side of this,
But no, like fantasy football. So I played younger and I enjoyed it for a while. But then it's like I just imagine me doing a fantasy baseball team. We have to like update it twice a day.
John's
like,
always looking for fantasy baseball.
No.
I
people
want to play fantasy baseball. I don't like baseball, but the analytics of it I really like, and I actually enjoy playing fantasy baseball.
Jonah Hill.
I would just like to point
Go
out
try
that
and get a league together with Forrester. I'm sure he'd like to
take
play
all
with.
we
White
tried.
Sox
It was
players.
me and Scott and Reed, and that was the only 3 people that committed to doing
I'm
it.
sure
well, there
EG
you go.
and
You-
Oosh,
you-
EG and Oosh will do it.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Do we have an Oosh appearance here? There it is.
I would just like to point out that Rocky had a better record than Tyler in fantasy football last year and finished also ahead of Taylor, Scott, who took it super seriously, Reed, who kind of took it seriously, and Kelsey, who also didn't play.
Well,
I got a cash
updated
offer
my-
for one of my players. So
I
Yeah,
think
you'll
I
remember. We're not
updated
gonna
it
get
to the
into that.
playoff. I updated. I think I just didn't draft my players. I think I did the automatic draft. I was like, because I really don't have any strategy.
You had
Tyler-
Dak Prescott, you had Jonathan Taylor, you had some pretty good
You
players.
didn't get a cash offer. You accepted a cash offer.
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
That will not exist in our fantasy football league moving forward, which means we
I-
probably will not have a fantasy football league because only like 4 of
Damn.
us are going to take it seriously, but
That's the problem.
because y'all are no fun.
The trade request sent an email to or a notification on everybody's app, and within maybe 20 seconds, we
Tim
had
made 2 very questionable
Forster and
moves.
Reed and Lunsford all walking in and going, "No, this cannot stand."
Tim made 2 very questionable moves in fantasy football. Number 1,
Signing up for
I
it.
didn't see any bylaws, and I went to
Tyler
the
was,
commissioner.
and it was with players who were not playing. Tyler was not playing, and so he paid him $20 or $25 for Jalen Hurts, and then he traded EG for 2 players who were injured, but are 2 of the best players in the league who were about to come off injured reserve, and said, "Here, I'll give you garbage for them." Okay, because she wasn't playing either.
She was playing. Both her and Tyler
She
were
was
playing.
I was
inactive.
initially playing.
Yeah,
I just
Tyler
got tired
and-
of keeping up with it, and then Tim made his offer, and I
Rockstar was
decided that it
initially
was worth
playing when
it.
the score was 0-0, but then he quit after that.
I'm willing to put my money where my fandom is, unlike you that changes and turncoats every
Booyakasha.
single chance you get. I mean, I am
Your fandom where? You
committed.
didn't get any Titans players.
I'm committed to, I was talking about my fantasy team. I was committed to trying to win.
I was committed to
the
my
league.
fantasy team. I made more moves than anybody. I made it further than everybody in this room, by the way.
Do you see this college football games coming out soon?
Yes, that's a good.
Do they have a
segue
fantasy?
back to this. From dynasty mode to dentistry mode, I
my
hope to
God.
recruit you over to Alabama Dental Associates. That's where you'll meet my friends Dr. Jeff and Dr. Brian over on Grants Mill Road. They run a 5-star program. They have very flexible office hours, so that way you can visit the professional dental team that they've put together on a more convenient schedule. If you need to find the best dentist in town, then turn to the team that I trust. I'm so happy to share this solution with you. They have all the latest advancements in dental healthcare technology, but they also have the friendliest staff in town. If you're ready to find that perfect dental team, reach out and try Alabama Dental Associates for yourself. They are accepting new patients right now and can help you feel at ease about all your upcoming dental procedures. I have a visit scheduled for Alabama Dental Associates next month. Looking forward to that. For more information or to make an appointment, call them at 205-956-8977. My dentist looks like Kyle Chandler, and your dentist can too. At alabamadental.com, they look forward to seeing you.
I'd just like to point out I beat Tim in the playoffs after he paid the luxury tax and stole players from a team who, no, she played. She somehow made the playoffs and had 4 inactive players in her playoff game. Just pointing that out.
I think that, John, if you were a better commissioner, we wouldn't have so many inactive players. I need you to actually step up what the parameters
because
are.
I'm actually a commissioner, people don't want to play. I got to pay attention to this. Ugh, I don't want to do that.
I take it very seriously.
All right, we'll do a college league. Nobody has to pay attention to after the draft. I don't want to do that either.
Am I the problem? I'm not the problem. I take it seriously. I just
You are not the problem. You just took advantage of everybody else who is the problem.
Oh God.
I can't help that, John. That you've recruited a bunch of lackeys to be
I'm
in
now
this
making
thing.
a rule that you cannot take advantage of people who are the problem.
Well, don't let those people in to begin with. I look at them.
I don't think I'm going to play this year, guys.
2 of them are in the room. Don't talk too loud.
I don't think I'm going to play this year.
Okay,
Man,
Anyway.
I received a cash offer for a fake player.
It's
You're
a
out of
very
your
real
mind.
player.
You think I'm turning that down?
it's a very real
It's not only a
player.
real player. It's arguably my favorite player, but yeah.
Yes, and it's a keeper league, right? Because now.
Well,
I think it.
I would be
shouldn't
fine being a keeper league because
Do you-
I had
do you-
Patrick Mahomes, I had Travis Kelce, I had Derrick Henry.
I feel like it shouldn't be a keeper league, but anyway, we'll discuss in another time. Producer Tyler's back here with us. Tyler,
Yeah.
you have a very busy week of cinema that kicks off today. Tell me what you'll be watching and when.
So today I will be seeing Kinds of Kindness, the new Yorgos Lanthimos movie with Emma Stone, Margaret Qualley, Jesse Plemons. Tomorrow I've got an early screening of Maxine. That's the 3rd movie in the Ty West X trilogy. Thursday I think I'm gonna go see Despicable Me 4.
Damn.
And Friday there's an early screening for Fly Me to the Moon with Channing Tatum and Scarlett Johansson.
Give me a lunchless list with those 4 options of what. Well, we'll make it 5 options. I'll throw the Acolyte in there as well. Of what you're looking
I
most
don't know
forward
about
to
this.
seeing to what you're looking least forward to seeing.
All right, so it goes without saying, Acolyte's at the bottom.
Okay, Acolyte at number 5.
All right, after that, probably Despicable Me 4.
Okay, just simply because you'll be the only person in there with a mustache.
Well,
I would count that out.
barely, but yes.
Without another child with him.
Yes.
With facial fuzz.
Oh, let's see. The Kinds of Kindness, Maxine, and what was the other one? Fly Me to the Moon. Number 3, I'm gonna go Kinds of Kindness just because it
I'm
can.
surprised that it's number 3 for you.
Yeah, I'm interested in the movie. The trailer's super interesting, but it doesn't tell me anything about the story, so I feel like it could just go either way.
Okay.
Plus, the reviews are pretty divisive so far.
That's fair.
Have you ever seen a Yorgos Lanthimos film?
I've
I know you
seen-
said you hadn't seen Poor Things.
I've seen Poor Things.
I thought you said you
Yeah.
hadn't seen Poor Things.
Yeah, I just wasn't crazy about Poor Things. Number 2, probably Fly Me to the Moon. I think the premise for the movie is really interesting, so I'm hoping that delivers. And then number 1, Maxine.
Maxine, is it a horror movie? I guess it is.
Yes.
Yes,
Slasher movie.
Okay, it's
yeah,
a slasher
for sure.
movie. Sorry. I thought this may be taking a departure from where we've been in the series, like to where it's more of a sort of crime.
Nope.
Thriller?
She's being stalked by Richard Ramirez.
And it's gonna be a hardcore slasher movie.
Got it. Okay, it's going to be a horror movie. Got it.
Horrible.
We have Jody in the chat who talks about Late Night with the Devil being maybe the next Halloween movie of the future. Absolutely fantastic. We both saw Late Night with the Devil earlier this year. It remains one of my favorite movies of the year. It's currently, I think, my 2nd favorite movie of the year that I've seen in the theater. And I know it's top tier for you,
Yeah, it's like top 5 for me still.
and it's really good. So check out Late Night with the Devil if you have not already and you like horror movies. Once again, we want to thank James for the super chat, talking about how Dynasty Mode was amazing and he's so hyped. He also said that he has a week off there of the release of the game. We're going to be doing some special content that entire week as we are hyped up about the game as well. It will be SEC Media Day, so there'll be a lot going on here with Disrupt Media, and we are going to have, I think we can announce this, a special field correspondent there at SEC Media Days on behalf of the Meltdown. And I'm very excited to have EG partnering with us, and she is going to be producing. Sorry, Rockstar, your tape was good, but it wasn't EG level
Okay.
great.
I didn't even look at it, but yeah.
Yeah.
So stupid.
It's
Go
like your
ahead.
fantasy team.
Yeah.
Didn't even check in on it.
What I had in the bag.
Here's what you should know, Rockstar. You will be featured in a documentary coming up that pays you $0 in royalties, but it's going to be an absolute cult classic, if that means anything to you.
Yeah.
It debuts tomorrow at 2 p.m. right here on this channel, allegedly. I'm looking for verbal confirmation or some nonverbal confirmation from John. It is going to debut tomorrow. John has been piecing it together, and I'd like to show everyone now a sneak peek at Triple Threat Level Midnight, an inside look at the Meltdown and Triple Threat trivia through the eyes of world champion John Lunsford.
You know, we thought we'd have to give a little behind the scenes to the Meltdown before we really and truly could give you behind the scenes of Triple Threat Trivia. To truly understand the Meltdown, you have to go all the way back to the beginning. This right here used to be Cox Media Group. And then we get to this place, Cumulus Media Lawsuits, am I right?
This is going to go either very well or very poorly because we have not tested any of this. So buckle up, you're along for the ride here.
Spin that wheel!
All right, the first wheel spin is going to John Lunsford. Next up, with possession of the wheel, that is John Lunsford. All right, spin number 4. It now goes to John Lunsford. John, 4 points. You've got Spud at 5 points. EG is our champion. And you know what? I'm going to go conspiracy theorist here. I think Spud threw the game on purpose because of his previous comments about how much he
That's
appreciates
absolutely
EG.
false. I would never do that.
I am smart. I can do things.
I'd like to thank Blake Lou's Bouquets for sponsoring this segment and giving these lovely flowers. Thank you to my parents for teaching me the knowledge I needed in order to win this.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you
There
to
we
my
go.
wife, Laurel. And
One
thank
letter
you
off. Gary.
to Tim for finally giving me questions that I could get right.
Spud, how many pounds are in a ton?
2,000. 2,000.
That is correct.
I just didn't know the questions repeated. We had that one a couple weeks ago.
Drama. I will put that to the test. For 1 point, Tyler, how many pounds are in a ton? How does it feel to be walking away a winner of Meltdown Triple Threat Trivia for this #1 contendership opportunity?
Exceptionally lucky because there was a moment where I was getting beat like a redheaded stepchild.
When it comes down to the final seconds and the ball has to go in somebody's hands, you always want it in your own hand.
John, name the longest running Broadway show of all time.
Phantom of the Opera.
That is correct for a championship.
Hey, that man
Congratulations.
is money.
So this is where the magic happened for Triple Threat Trivia Tornado Tag Team Trivia. We had a lot of T's in there because why not try to have some fun with it?
Rocky and Laurel, unfortunately, I'm docking you 1 point for an unsuccessful challenge as well.
I didn't know you got points off for doing that.
You lose a point if you challenge.
Here is the question. Oh, gosh. We about lost Spud altogether. Number 70 is a wheel spin.
Oh my goodness.
Number 7 is a wheel spin. Number 8 is a wheel spin. Number 270 is a wheel spin.
Good Lord.
Number 75 is a wheel spin. 323 is a wheel spin. 180 is a wheel spin.
I probably should have followed his strategy more, but
What was that strategy?
if it wasn't sports, pass it to Reed.
Ronald Reagan,
That is correct for 3 points.
1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
That is correct for 2 points.
Richard Hatch,
That is correct.
2000.
That is also correct for 1 point. Congratulations.
Pocahontas.
That is correct for 1 point. Congratulations.
Joel Rifkin.
That is correct. Congratulations for 2 points. What candy was originally known as chicken feed?
Oh, is it? Oh, I might know it.
Go, go, go.
Is it candy corn?
That is correct for 3 points.
This is where the questions come from. Let's see some of the questions for next week. Of course, we're not going to go in here either because we'll probably be shot on sight. All right, that is it.
Gosh. Well, that was a nice sort of sneak peek at what is to come tomorrow, where John Lunsford will be spewing out his propaganda, and it is going to be very fun to see how it all plays out. But I'm glad that you incorporated the singles league and the tag team league. We're catching everybody up.
A story of all of Triple Threat Trivia from the very beginning with the crazy rules that
Yep.
we had at first. And then also a little behind the scenes of the Meltdown as well. including some on-location shots as you saw there. Yeah, kind of telling our story with the Meltdown and prime time to now, and ending with where we were with Rocky and Laurel winning the tag titles.
When you went over to Cumulus's headquarters, were you worried about being shot on sight?
I was, which is why that's the last thing I said, because it's
You didn't look like you had a very good disguise. I mean, you looked very much like John Lunsford.
I did.
I
I had a Hawaiian shirt on.
Key fob, did it work?
I actually still have my key fob, but I thought about it. But there's one car in the parking lot. I didn't know whose it was, and I was like, sure enough, I'm going to go in, and there's going to be somebody who's going to be like,
yeah.
And then that's going to be it for me.
That would have been funny.
You did a good job with the camera angle, though. You cut out the wanted poster they've got on the building.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Well, excellent job there. That's just a little taste of the documentary that will be debuting tomorrow. I know that Brian Pavlik is going to eat this thing up. I know Ush and Spud, they're all going to be reliving what was deemed by Brian Pavlik as season 1 of Meltdown Triple Threat Trivia. I guess we technically are moving into season 2. I feel like we need to do new things for season 2, and we will have announcements very soon about
more
what
wheel
is coming.
spins. Oh wait, no, we had plenty of those.
I think we can announce we're actually going to have our first ever remote location edition of Meltdown Triple Threat Trivia coming up next week at Blakely's Bouquets.
Yeah.
On July 10th, and we're looking forward to that. I'm going to go ahead and announce.
You did.
Okay. It is now time for another edition of Hot or Cold. I feel like
I got mine.
you got yours?
I got mine.
You got yours? You don't have yours. Okay. This is the way it works. I'm going to give you a trending entertainment topic, and you're going to tell me whether you're hot or cold on it, but please make sure you listen to the question itself because it could change your perspective on whether you're hot or you're cold. Here we go. Question number 1. Deadpool and Wolverine director Sean Levy says, there's a lot of characters who will pop up, but clarifies, quote, we didn't want any of the cameos or characters to be the story of the movie. Would you be hot or cold on a Taylor Swift cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine?
It's not going to happen, but
We've got 2 colds and a hot. Now, for a while there, you felt pretty confident it was going to happen. Why do you feel like it's not now, John?
Because I think they've basically come out and said with that I'm saying that quote strictly because of that.
Okay.
I don't know that anybody just from the MCU would take away from the movie, but that would take away from the movie.
But you're going to lose your mind if Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah, I'm still all in if it happens.
Okay. Next question.
I call it adding to the movie.
Pearl Jam just canceled 2 European tour dates due to illness. The band is yet to make a full recovery, is what the Rockers shared in a statement. Are you hot or cold on Even Flow being Pearl Jam's best song? There's a cold right there. There's a cold.
I'm trying to think of another Pearl Jam song. I'm not a big Pearl Jam.
You may have to go hot on this. You may have to.
If you can name another super popular song, like
Alive, Jeremy, Better Man. I'm trying to think of the.
Haven't changed John's vote yet.
Yellow Ledbetter used to get a ton of
Okay,
play
so
on
what
the
is the
radio.
correct answer here, Rockstar?
It's controversial, but I believe it's Black.
Black's really good.
Black is a beautiful song. It's just sad, but but Even Flow is just one of those ones where if I was a Pearl Jam, I'm seeing if I've never seen them before. I remember them in high school. If I would be super stoked to see 60-year-olds singing Even Flow. It's a good song, but it's just never one. Like I get to perform it. I'm more excited about performing Alive than I am Even Flow. Alive gets a better crowd reaction than Even Flow. Night in, night out.
How many times have you seen Pearl Jam live?
Pearl Jam live 7 or 8, and I've seen Eddie Vedder solo once.
album number 5, track 4.
That would be track 4. Would be Given to Fly. Yeah, Given to Fly.
By the way, James is cold on anything Taylor Swift right now and has Taylor fatigue.
That's kind of gone down a little bit since football season.
Landmine Believer says Daughters or Jeremy would be the answer to the best Pearl Jam song.
So I have Given to Fly, the 4th track on their 5th album.
That's what you said.
I thought it said 4th.
You said 5th album. 4th
See,
track.
not so easy to be asking
right.
questions,
Yeah.
is it? You make a little documentary mocking me,
You're
but
docked
that's
1 point.
actually
I don't have a full spreadsheet telling me exactly what to say.
pretty tough.
Boom!
You're the king of spreadsheets. You have nothing but
But not about
spreadsheets.
Pearl Jam.
Yeah, spread cheeks. All right.
I know Even Flow. What's another song? I do know Alive. I like Alive, but I'd still say Even Flow.
We have Landmine Believer that says, when I think of Even Flow, I think of Chris Jericho in WCW. They would rip off real songs for their themes.
Ooh.
Afternoon, Goose. Happy to have you here. All right. Keep it up in the chat, guys. Here we go. Next question. Childish Gambino has announced his new and final album under the moniker Bando Stone and the New World, releasing July 19th. The rapper has also released the first single, Lithonia, named after a city just east of Atlanta where his TV show is set. Are you hot or cold on Donald Glover being a better musician than actor? John is hot on it. Tyler's hot on it.
I don't know one Childish Gambino song. I don't know.
Can you name a Donald Glover movie?
He was in The Martian? What's the one where he was fixing space stuff? He was the one that came up with the solution to get it's a recent movie where he was the guy that came up with the solution to get him back to Earth.
Was it The Martian?
It wasn't The Martian, but it was something like that.
He was in The Martian.
It was The Martian.
He was
So
in The
there you
Martian.
go.
Okay, then there.
I don't remember who he was in The Martian, but
Good
he was.
He was
Cool.
some
There.
kid that was like eating ramen noodles that came up with the
I
idea.
was gonna say Solo. I mean, that's kind of a space movie
No,
too.
I gave up on Solo 30 minutes in.
I
His
hope,
biggest roles were
He
like
was good in
Community and Atlanta.
and he still hasn't. It's another thing. He has not been paid off in the MCU at all after debuting in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
What killed him the most with that role was that Into the Spider-Verse came out with that
It did
same
it
role
so
being
much better.
so
Yeah.
critical to it. Yeah.
Okay, next question.
I'm a big Childish Gambino fan though.
Jeremy Irons has joined the cast of The Morning Show. In the Apple TV Plus drama's upcoming 4th season, he will play the father of Jennifer Aniston's character. Are you hot or cold on The Morning Show being one of the 10 best shows currently on TV? John is hot on it.
This may be one you can name 10 potentially to knock it out, but off the top of my head, I'm thinking yes.
Tell me why it is a show that you appreciate.
It's just enough newsroom and just enough Succession to kind of, because it's all about sale of a massive media company, but it's also very much like, hey, we're journalists, we got to do journalism the right way kind of thing. That like it's just enough of all of those. Plus, it does have a really, really good cast in it. That it's a pretty good show. Now, is it my favorite show? No, but when it comes up, I'm definitely excited to watch it. You probably can name 10 current shows, but off the top of my head, I can't think of them.
Charles says, cold. It's good, but I think I would name 10 better ones if I had to. James says, I agree with Charles on this.
Did you say currently or all time?
Currently.
Currently, yeah. See, currently, I don't know if I could or not.
Goose, currently in production, meaning they haven't wrapped their series. Goose says Jeremy Irons has a great voice. Do you think Jeremy Irons will add a lot to the cast? Because it is a pretty well-cast show. They have spent a lot of money on bringing in some big A-listers to be a part of this from the very beginning.
And I think this last season was first season without Steve Carell. They tried to...
Did James Spader replace him?
They tried to basically replace him with John Hamm. John Hamm was like an Elon Musk type, and he became kind of one of the focal male characters in it, but he didn't really do it for me.
You're saying you think it's a hot show? Has 2 seasons? So they just finished season 3. They're going about to do season 4. You said, have the other 2 seasons been anywhere near the first season?
I thought season 2 was well done. Season 3 was good, not great. So I'd say overall it's gone down, but not like it's good. Like
I think it would have been a perfect 1-season show.
I don't disagree with that.
That was a
I've
great
heard
show.
it referred to as the worst, best show on TV.
God.
I mean, in actuality, is it that
You're the best?
Is that bad of a thing
You're the
to
best
say?
looking
I mean,
ugly guy I've ever seen. For ugly people, you're pretty good looking.
See, I think it's more of like you're the ugliest hot guy
It's
I've
like
seen.
it's right there at the
Like-
line of being bad, but it's still good. Like that's
so,
why people
overall,
typically
like,
have it.
That's why I'd still say like it's probably top 10 currently. Because like The Bear, so I finished The Bear last night.
Well, let's calm down on that. Who knows what may come up?
That's one to potentially throw in the mix with it. I'll stop.
AI audio firm 11 Labs has set agreements with the estates of Judy Garland, James Dean, and other legends to use their voices to read books, articles, PDFs, and other text material to mobile users of its new Reader app. Are you hot or cold on using dead celebrities as audiobook narrators?
You're just limiting it to audiobooks.
That's what I'm limiting the question to here. If you're at the airport, dead celebrities guiding you to the terminal.
Well,
are you okay with that?
just thinking. Well, you said like James Dean appearing in the next Budweiser commercial, or James Dean going to be.
This is just voice only
in the next Marvel movie. Like, are you kidding me? That's why I said it. You're narrowing it down. So yes, I'll say
Voice for applications like this, I'm all about AI doing everything they possibly can. When it comes to creating movies, that's then a different story. But
Tyler, you're the only one here that seems to be sort of icky about this. Tell me why.
I think that's a real slippery slope. We're gonna say, oh, it's just gonna be for this little bit or for this one thing, and then it's like, oh, well, we can use it for so much, and then it just keeps expanding.
It's definitely a gateway drug for AI, but
We
as long
say
as you
that
stop there. Then
when you
it's
say
okay.
that, it always reminds me of Beowulf. Remember that came where they said these CGI things are
Yeah.
going to take over. We're not going to hire Brad Pitt anymore because this is cheaper. Just to do it on a computer and have somebody voice
The
it.
bad thing is that movie looked worse than like half the video game cutscenes out there. That you could just. I've always said with like World of Warcraft, so they did a movie of that, which I found out that's on Netflix. I could have put that on my list, but
I've already talked enough about that Duncan Jones movie.
Yes.
I'm obsessed with Warcraft. It's one of my favorite franchises.
But it can only make so many lists.
But
what's your favorite type of pizza? Duncan Jones's Warcraft. It's like, wow, John.
Wow.
Wow.
I said how, by the way. I didn't even say wow.
It sounded like wow.
I said how, John.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Everybody else did too,
wow.
so I don't feel as bad. Anyway,
Because you started it yet. Anyway, are we on camera?
I'm just gonna stop.
Next,
World of Warcraft
next
cutscenes are
question.
really good. They're better than
Oh,
Beowulf.
everybody knows that.
Horizon actor Michael Rooker says Kevin Costner's film is, quote, real cinema after it flopped at the box office, and tells moviegoers to get over that crap TikTok. Get over that. Let's watch a movie that actually tells a story where you learn about the people and grow to like them or hate them. It's not all fast and cut, cut, cut. Are you hot or cold on the TikTok generation being the thing that derailed Horizon's box office success?
Oh. What?
It not being a movie anybody cares about is what derailed it. It had nothing to do with the TikTok generation.
And I think there's some pretty decent points in your statement, but I still don't want to see that garbage movie.
This is a guy who, by the
3
way,
hours.
one of his best roles is a Marvel comic book movie that is very much everything he's talking about right now.
I have spoken to a lot of different types of people, and the one thing they seem to all agree on is, why would anybody go to see this movie?
Is Michael Rooker the one
And I'm
that...
talking about all different backgrounds, all different ages.
Yeah.
And nobody's excited for this thing.
Kevin Costner put a second mortgage on his house to make it, and
Yeah.
that's the reaction.
He's got 3 more of these things coming out, and nobody went to go see the first one.
I just went to Michael Rooker's filmography, but like, okay, outside of Guardians, like I'm sure I'm not thinking of
Cliffhanger.
something. It wasn't Cliffhanger, but like here's his
Belko Experiment.
Here's his filmography, real quick, of like 3
Walking
years.
Dead.
Guardians of the Galaxy, The Belko Experiment, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Brightburn, Love and Monsters, Fast and Furious 9, The Suicide Squad. All of those were all these movies you're talking about, and that's all he did until, well, I got cast on Horizon, I guess. That's a true movie.
You want to... he was Dale's brother. He was Dale, wasn't he? From Walking Dead. The only thing I can remember is... Hey,
He
little
was
brother.
Merle Dixon.
Hey, little brother.
Steven says
Pretty
Rooker
good.
is from Jasper, Alabama.
He is.
Vivo's such a random pull. Was
I have
that the Lin-Manuel
Yep,
movie?
it's a good movie, too.
I never
My
saw
kid
it.
loved it. He plays a snake. That my wife said that she guaranteed me $100 that was Woody Harrelson playing the snake. I go, I don't think that's Woody. It was Michael Rooker.
Daniel says that sounded like JD's brother in Scrubs.
Hey, little brother.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
All right.
Okay. Now, I failed in getting Rockstar the information that he needed to watch a trailer before today's episode, so I apologize about that. However, Bridesmaids director Paul Feig directs John Cena and Awkwafina in Prime Video's action comedy Jackpot. There's a new trailer out today. It is set in 2030. The film centers on an aspiring actor who wins the lottery, but there's a catch. Other people can now legally kill her before sundown to claim the prize. It's sort of like The Purge meets Brewster's Millions, which is a very odd thing to say. I don't know if anybody even knows what Brewster's
I know what
Millions
Brewster's
is.
Millions is. He has to spend all the money, but like, I don't.
Are you hot or cold on the premise of the movie?
I do like the premise, but you said it's a comedy.
It's
Does
an action comedy.
Aquafina have speaking roles?
Tons.
She
Oh,
is too-
way too many.
Her and Casey Affleck, those two voices. I was gonna, but that's a cool. If she's not in it and John
She
Cena's
is
not
in it.
Okay,
And John Cena is in it. So
but
you're cold?
I think it's a cool concept, but not with those two actors.
Well, I was gonna be this for Awkwafina, John Cena, and kind of the concept, because John Cena I think is a really good comedic actor.
They could do the Save on the
Awkwafina-
Marquee. It could be Aquafina.
Awkwafina is just getting to be a little too. I don't
Tyler, you're
dislike Awkwafina, but she's getting to be too much.
You're the only one that seems very certain in your choice here. Why are you selling this project so hard?
Oh, that trailer was awful. It was like it was offensively bad to me. Also, it did the thing that I absolutely hate and have debated on walking out just to grab a real quick drink when movies are playing, is when the trailer starts and the actors go on screen and they're like, "Hi, thanks for coming to see our movie. Now sit tight for the trailer." And they try to be real quirky with it. I hate it. It needs to stop. This is the worst trend in movies ever.
So I'll take it even a step further, Tyler. I hate it when it's at the actual movie. And you're
It's
sitting
at
down.
the, yes.
You're sitting down for the movie.
I feel like it rarely happens at the movie, like it happens every single time on YouTube, but it does happen.
It's
at the movie.
close to every time now. It happened. It happened at a
Lupita
Quiet
Nyong'o.
Place. It happened
I
at
don't think
Fall
there was a
Guy.
single trailer at the Quiet Place, except for
I'm not talking
Lupita.
about trailer. I'm talking about the actual
Before
before,
the
the
movie
movie
the
starts.
trailer. Oh,
No,
yeah.
I'm saying it's even worse when it's right before the movie you're
Now
about to
I
watch.
don't. So A Quiet Place is a little different. So now they're playing that Deadpool Wolverine, like turn your cell phone thing off. But they took that out and did Lupita Nyong'o being like, "It's a quiet place. You need to turn your phone off." That's all it was. I'm fine with that. It's not like, guys, this is a quiet place. We filmed this movie and it was fun. It wasn't like that. It's like, turn your phones off because it's a quiet place, right?
It's been happening for a
It's-
while now.
it's
But
the
they do it
worst.
sometimes, and it's always opening day usually. I feel like if you go 2 weeks in, that doesn't typically.
Man, I think if there was one that played before Deadpool and Wolverine, I would rate Deadpool and Wolverine lower. Just because it is just that much of a buzzkill for me.
You guys hot or cold on the movie Bridesmaids, by the way?
That's a good movie.
Bridesmaids. I love Bridesmaids.
Never seen it.
Well, the minute Aquafina showed up and they're doing a lottery bit beforehand, like I like John Cena. I think he's going to make a decent career. But Aquafina, I was like, oh god. But then I saw Paul Feig directed this, and it's like, oh okay, I'm a little more on board. And then it's like, then John Cena didn't show up for the first part of the trailer, and then it's like, okay, I'm a little more on board even still. So.
Johnny didn't listen to the question.
You didn't. It was just.
I'm hot on Bridesmaids. I'm saying that's why I'm into this movie because I like Bridesmaids.
Guys.
Calm down, okay? Exploding Kittens is later.
He's also in Heavyweights. By the way, Daniel says, kind of sounds like self-reliance. It is very much like self-reliance. Whole thing is he's randomly chosen on the street, and he gets X amount of money. I don't remember exactly what it was. If he can survive 30 days without dying.
Goose, you're exactly right. Richard Pryor, man, Brewster Millions should be required watching. I think Richard Pryor's the funniest man that's ever lived, and John thinks he's overrated. So that explains where we are in our content that we like to consume. Let's move on to our next question.
Also, Michael Rooker in Days of Thunder. I don't remember who threw that in there, but that's his best
Hey,
movie.
want to race me in a wheelchair, buddy?
It's getting. I love your impression.
Thanks.
Of Michael Rooker. You have some very interesting impressions. Lindsay Lohan is back on the Disney studio lot to film Freaky Friday 2 and says she's feeling like a kid again. She said, quote, "That's not just Freaky Friday for me. That's The Parent Trap. That's Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. That's Herbie.
Fully loaded.
It's so many moments for me. So when I get there, I kind of felt like this essence of a little kid again." Are you hot or cold on a Lindsay Lohan comeback? Cold, cold, cold. No Lindsay Lohan fans here in the house.
Mean Girls is pretty much it for me when it comes to her.
She was great in The Parent Trap.
She was good in
She was great in Freaky Friday.
was it Robert?
Robert.
RFK, the Emilio Estevez film.
Oh, that's a deep cut. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
she was really good in that.
Mean Girls is one of the best movies ever made, but outside of that,
Rockstar, we always talk about childhood actors and how they end up horribly, and they're crazy, and it's a sad thing. We had Quiet on the Set that we watched earlier this year. Lindsay Lohan seems to be getting her life together, seems to be coming back, seems to be a success story coming from the ashes of that industry. Why is that not something that
She
you
had a
guys
cameo in
champion
the Mean Girls
she
remake.
I'm not hoping that she fails. I'm just not. I don't really care about her being successful for Freaky Friday 2.
more? Okay, got it.
You just switched
Fair.
all the way around. You don't want her to have a good life, Tim?
No, I
Everybody deserves
The
happiness.
question is, are you hot or cold on a Lindsay Lohan comeback?
Yeah, cold.
And that's
I hope she's
fine.
happy.
I don't think you're
She
an
can still have a
awful
good life
person.
and not just have an acting comeback. She just had a kid, didn't she? Or she?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so she should be happy right now.
Okay. You're just not paying to see any of her new material.
Oh, absolutely not.
That's perfectly
you
fine.
can watch Irish Wish on Netflix.
Oh, I'll watch
What?
that. No,
I think it actually did some pretty good numbers.
It got destroyed critically.
Destroyed critically, but what on Netflix, doesn't these days.
Madam Web's doing great numbers too.
Ridley Scott admits, quote, "I should have done the sequels to Alien, but I was never asked about them. You can imagine I wasn't happy." Are you hot or cold on seeing Fede Alvarez's Alien Romulus on opening night next month?
if I can
When
do
does
it.
it open? Because I'm The only thing I'm concerned about is we may have a work conflict. I don't want to talk about what that work conflict is, but we may have a work conflict. We do?
We do.
That's going to get John out of seeing this thing.
Yes.
What?
Or
What's our conflict?
I can't talk about it
well,
on air.
we can't talk about it on air.
Y'all are
but
going to space.
We can't talk about it yet.
You all have the same conflict.
But we all have the same conflict.
Oh,
So I'm pretty much cold on this, I think.
is it a?
Just
stop,
Tyler.
Okay.
Just don't try to detect
There's a reason we
this.
didn't bring it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Tim did bring it up.
I brought it up to not bring it up. That's the key. Okay.
What?
Tyler's
Moving
confused.
on. We're all cold. Moving on.
This game has broken him.
Everybody
All
hates Alien.
Next question.
Sucks.
I'm very hot on seeing Fede Alvarez's Alien Romulus. Next question. Wednesday Season 2 is now filming in Ireland, and it is said to be the largest production to ever film in the country in terms of production spend. Were you hot or cold on Wednesday Season 1? Hot for John.
Very good.
Hot or cold?
Been meaning to watch it, so I guess
Nobody else in the room watched it.
Oh, I'd be indifferent. I don't.
I like
I know
Jenna
he was
Ortega.
huge, but like I didn't watch it. So
I
I'll
do
be,
feel like if you haven't watched it by now, you're cold on it. Is that fair?
I guess. I mean,
Burr. Sound like a penguin there.
I still haven't seen No Country for Old Men. I'm not going to be cold on it necessarily.
Tim Burton's Beetlejuice sequel starring Michael Keaton and Jenna Ortega will open this year's Venice Film Festival. Are you hot or cold on this long-awaited sequel being a box office hit?
Oh,
Is it going to be a box office hit? Beetlejuice 2. Cold.
Very middle ground. Not like disaster, but not like, oh my God, it tripled its budget or anything either.
what is the budget?
I don't know the budget of
Because
Beetlejuice.
I think of Zoolander. I mean, this is Beetlejuice was 88. It is now 2024. It's great to have Michael Keaton, Catherine O'Hara back. I love that movie, but the expectations are too high. To have the cast come back, Winona Ryder.
I think so too.
I imagine they probably spent way too much compared to what a 2024 audience will spend on Beetlejuice.
And although I was just all
As
about
much as I'm
Wednesday,
looking forward to it.
I don't think Jenna Ortega moves the needle that much to change things. I mean, I think she's good,
Huge on social media, but
but
I think if it had come out right when like Wednesday was at its peak,
and
then
she
you're
was still on
talking-
Scream and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah.
Wednesday has done massive numbers.
oh, it has. It's because it's really good. But it's as a box office draw, I don't know if she's totally there yet.
The season 3 premiere of The Bear reached 5.4 million views in its first 4 days of streaming, according to Disney. That marks not only the best performance ever for an FX premiere on Hulu, but the most watched season premiere for any scripted series on Hulu. Are you currently hot or cold on The Bear season 3?
I'll be indifferent because I did see that Eddie Vedder released a cover of Save It for Later by the English Beat, which is a fantastic cover that your boy must have listened to it on a night. We watched the first 2 episodes of the first season. Nope. That is a panic attack.
It is a panic attack.
It is a panic
inducing show. Everyone's indifferent on this. Tyler, tell me why.
So I've actually wanted to start The Bear because I think I'll really like it. But I also think it'll make me super anxious and give me flashbacks of my time in the kitchen. So
Yes. It was a very
that's
tense
why I
time.
haven't watched any of it so far.
So I finished it last night. This season is completely different from the first season. The whole anxiety-inducing, oh my gosh, the kitchen's crazy, not even remotely in this season.
Can I watch the 3rd season without watching 1 and 2?
No.
Okay. Never mind.
But the thing is, if this was the first season I got from The Bear, everything y'all are saying, y'all would not be saying and being like, I thought it was actually pretty good. But based on what The Bear has been, it's a total departure. Therefore, people who like The Bear for what it was don't like this season. And the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes has been hovering right around back and forth between Rotten and Fresh, around the 60% range, which is not good. I liked it overall. It was very A24 artsy-ish. And they brought back all the characters. They had kind of introduced characters and cameos and stuff, and they brought back almost all of them in various ways, flashbacks, whatever it may be. That was really good. But there's like 2 or 3 episodes that it's like, why does that exist within this? That's not what I'm used to from The Bear. And it's the same people. It's not like they've changed directors, not like they've changed writers or anything. I feel like it's like, okay, that worked. Now let's try something new. And the try something new didn't quite work, but it leaves off on a cliffhanger. There's 100% going to be a season 4 that I'm still very, very, very much looking forward to it, and I'm very hot on that.
I'm sure it will continue to be an awards contender. Eminem has announced that his upcoming album, The Death of Slim Shady, will arrive on July 12th. Are you hot or cold on listening to this entire album at some point? Cold.
I will, because my wife's obsessed with Eminem, but...
Is he retired again? This is the last album?
It's the death of Slim Shady.
Yeah.
No bringing him back this
There
time.
will be some new characters.
Is he still angry?
I thought you liked the new single that came out here.
It wasn't bad, but
You said
it
whole
doesn't mean
album.
I want to listen to a whole Eminem album.
That's fine. You guys think I'm yelling at you.
He hasn't
I
put
just
together
am
a
trying-
good album in 10
Loud
years, Tim.
noises!
I'm just trying to piece together exactly where you stand on issues.
Okay.
That's all.
I don't know what happened.
That was me. That was not you.
Honestly,
okay.
didn't really like. I like Abracadabra,
I just
and I
assumed
thought
it's
this kind of ruined Abracadabra for me.
Did you miss
Sing
that
too?
whole interaction?
Yes,
Tyler's something fell, and Tyler's
He
like,
just
I just
assumes.
assume it's me.
it was Rocky's phone. I saw it.
Okay. Just a couple more, and then we can go back to being friends. Wicked, Universal's film adaptation of the hit Broadway musical, is landing in theaters on November 22nd, 5 days ahead of schedule.
Hell yeah.
The big budget musical is looking to avoid an opening weekend battle royale with Disney's Moana 2, which is where it was originally set to launch. Are you hot or cold on Moana 2 making at least double Wicked's box office total? You think Moana 2 is going to double up Wicked?
Yeah.
If
Yes,
Moana
yes, yes.
2, if it was 400 and 800, it wouldn't surprise me.
Let me tell you,
And I would say that to me that's probably successful for.
let's say Moana 2 is a $1 billion movie.
Then yes.
Wicked will not make at least $500 million worldwide.
I don't think so. And that's not like a failure necessarily if you made
No.
four or $500 million. But
That's kind of where I would put it right now. It's kind of where I
know,
put the
if
discussion.
you told me Moana 2 was a $1 billion movie, it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah. Next question. All 6 seasons of Lost are now streaming on Netflix. Are you hot or cold on being a fan of Lost? Do we have any fans of Lost here in the studio today? Indifferent. Started strong, didn't end well.
It was a great show, great premise. Last season was just awful. And it was one of those ones where I tried to get my wife. We watched the first episode, and she wasn't attached to the first episode. It's like, well, there ain't no way in hell we're gonna watch 6 of these, but because it was on Netflix for a while, I guess it disappeared.
It's all back now.
You got lost.
All 6 seasons.
Oh, because the title. Okay, I do like Benjamin Linus was a
Thing
great
is-
character.
I love J.J. Abrams, obviously. I love Damon Lindelof, Leftovers, Watchmen, all the stuff that he's done. But Lost, I just cannot get into. I don't know why.
And originally they wanted Michael Keaton to play Jack, but they said that he was supposed to die in the first episode.
Was that Matthew Fox?
Yeah, I think that was they originally wanted Michael Keaton to play Jack.
Boy, where's Matthew Fox? Is he dead?
He's on an island, I guess.
Last one here.
They all actually died.
Despicable
Spoiler.
Me 4, the 6th entry in Universal and Illumination's hit animated franchise, is expected to bring in $100 to $125 million during the 5-day July 4th holiday box office. Are you hot or cold on this movie, Despicable Me 4, at some point surpassing the grosses of Inside Out 2?
I gotta stick to my guns.
Yeah.
Hot, hot, hot. All of you think this movie makes more money than Inside Out 2, even though Inside Out 2 got a chance to grab those dollars first, has already passed the $1 billion mark, and remains a competitor to Despicable Me 4.
Inside Out 2 very much outperformed. But I said Despicable Me 2 would beat it, so I'm sticking with it.
Okay. Everybody's hot on this.
I don't think it will outperform because I think the expectation is for it to make $1 billion.
Tyler, you're donating your dollars to the cause in just a couple of days. What would it take for Despicable Me 4 to be a movie you like?
Nudity.
There will be that, probably.
Okay,
I mean, it just needs to be fun, not overly focused towards the kids.
Are you going to dress up in a suit to go see this?
I will not be participating in the Gentle Minions trend.
If you wanted to get my attention,
My parents got ran into that. They went to go see I guess, Despicable Me 3, and the whole theater was full of people dressed in suits.
Oh, my gosh.
if you want to get my attention, I'd want them to go political.
You don't have to.
It's an election season, and I think they should go political. I
Go
think that'd be-
political?
Yeah.
we need to know where Gru stands.
Yes.
Okay. That's going to do it for Hot or Cold. Are you guys hot or cold on this segment? Show me a vote here. Hot or cold? Cold. Hot and cold, hot and cold. Thank you, guys. I appreciate this side of the room. I didn't
Oh,
realize.
I'm just doing this because you told me not to do it during the segment.
That is correct. I asked you please not to do that, and it's been done multiple
It's
times.
been done multiple times.
Let's talk about something less divisive. The Acolyte streams again tonight on Disney Plus and is set a century before the collapse of the Republic in a series that promised to pull back the curtain on the Jedi Order. It's an 8-episode season, and we are approaching episode 6. This show has not only shown fractures in the Jedi Order, but in Disney and Lucasfilm itself. Can Star Wars and Lucasfilm ever again reach the heights it once did? And what will it take to get there? John has promised to provide some helpful solutions on this edition of Luntz's List.
What is this? What is this? Luntz's List, Luntz's List, oh. What is this? What is this? Luntz's List, Luntz's List, oh. Luntz's List to find. Luntz's List to find. Luntz's List to find. Luntz's List to find.
All right, Jonathan, what are the 5 friendly pieces of advice that you can offer to Disney Lucasfilm?
Okay, Timothy.
Ooh.
Let's just jump right into it.
Let's do it.
Do number 5.
Scrap the whole thing. No. At number 5, what can we do to get Disney Star Wars cooking?
Dragons.
Dragons, you think? Number 5.
Think small.
Think small. Think small. Something
Bacteria.
Something you're incapable of doing during Luntz's List. You always think big. You always think big picture. But you're telling them think small.
Think
Talk
small.
to me.
Everything they do is somewhat expensive. Even the Mandalorian, they'll still spend $100 million on. But that's still less than what 180 they spent on the Acolyte. I feel like the Mandalorian set the groundwork for very much thinking small in terms of production. You know, they do it on a soundstage with that screen behind them and everything. And for all you know, they're still out there on whatever planet they happen to be on. But it's very much a small production in terms of like the scope of the actual size of the production. And I think you've ended up creating something really good with that. I think you could do some shows that story-wise think small on little pieces instead of trying to set up bigger. That's what the movies are for. The movies, the whole Skywalker saga. All 9 of them.
Is there anything in development movie-wise other than Mandalorian and Grogu?
There's the Rey movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
I didn't know that
4
was
like
still on the slate.
announced, and I think the only 2 that are actually like really going right now are Mandalorian and the Rey movie. But that's what those are for. And I know they're going to probably expand the Mandalorian, and they'll spend as much as a whole season on just that movie. But I feel like they need to think smaller, create smaller stories within the Star Wars universe, and create really good content instead of trying to make it too big. And I feel like the Acolyte has made it too big by trying to set up this whole story of the Force switches and everything, and it's kind of hard to do that properly in a small TV show.
Number 4 on Luntz's List, as we continue to try to repair the Star Wars Lucasfilm relationship with the fans.
Execute big.
I honestly would have put Think Small higher on the list and added it to the How to Fix the MCU list.
And while Star Wars is a major part of this discussion, I mean, Lucasfilm is the reason that you fell out of love with Indiana Jones a little bit.
Oh, it's a little bit. Last 2, at least I finished the Crystal Skull. I won't even finish the Dial of Destiny.
Now, I would say think small for Indiana Jones 2, but I feel like that's done.
Yeah, it needs to be.
So
it's got to be.
That doesn't mean they won't say, you know what, we hadn't had an Indiana Jones movie in the last 30 years. Let's go back to it.
30, try
at
2.
some
They'll
point.
do 2.
But
I wonder if they could just sell Indiana Jones off to somebody and let them just completely
but Harrison
waste their
Ford's
money
done.
on, like
Jordan
Kevin
Peele?
Costner.
Jordan Peele.
Give it the Strangers Chapter 1 treatment.
You thought Disney
Sell it to a fan and let them make an entire franchise.
I thought Disney was bad. Let's give it to Kevin Costner. Indiana Jones. I feel like they're kind of just done with most of everything else. So this is pretty much all Star Wars. Better games. I feel like the games have not had any longevity to them. But everybody constantly, when you say what's next with Star Wars, well, I love Knights of the Old Republic. Well, I love the older stuff that they did. But
Shadows of the Empire.
People love Star Wars Galaxies. I like playing Star Wars The Old Republic, which is an MMO version, basically, of Knights of the Old Republic. And it's like, well, what stories you want to see? Well, make those into movies. Well, create better games that you can then use. Because here's the thing, and y'all may disagree with me on this, but if you're having fun playing a game, the game is well created, the story isn't quite as important as it is in a movie because you're not playing in the movie. You're simply sitting there enjoying the story. You still need a good story, but it's not quite as important. And Outlaws it's Outlaws, right? Isn't that the new game coming out?
I think so.
Everybody's looking at it saying, oh, this looks really good, but I don't know if it's going to be or not. I feel like they've had a lot of stinkers with everything coming from Lucasfilm and that game studio. So I'm hoping they can create something good, and they need to create something good with some longevity to it. Like
Star Wars pinball.
like Star Wars pinball. But like they tried with the Old Republic to make a good massively multiplayer online game and have it have kind of its own ecosystem and stuff, but it kind of fell out because then the story fell off. Like, see the model they're doing with a game like Destiny that Bungie's doing. Like, take something like that, build that within the Star Wars universe, and kind of give it, like, they had a 10-year plan, and they have lived out that 10-year plan, and everybody has stayed with that 10-year plan. Do something like that. Lego Star Wars is mentioned by Goose. I mean, Lego Star Wars games are typically pretty good. So just create better games, because I feel like that's a good way to immerse people within the world of Star Wars.
I'm surprised they didn't take the Destiny 2 approach with the recent Battlefront games, because those games did not last very long.
Those
compared
games
to
suck.
compared to the
cool.
originals. The originals are still talked about as like some of the greatest shooters you could have played in the PS2 era.
The idea of them is cool. The execution was never really there for me.
And Star Wars is such a rich IP that they just can't seem to get right in that medium for sure. Let's go ahead and move on to number 3. I remember playing Super Star Wars on the Super Nintendo, and gosh, that game was tough.
What is Super Star Wars?
Oh, it's the
It was like
most
Star Wars, but it was
difficult
like
game.
Super.
I think it's the most difficult game I maybe have ever played.
No, Ghouls and Goblins.
Ghouls and Goblins is tough.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Jar Jar Binks. Oh.
Creative keys to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
Mustaine.
Hand the creative keys over. Does that mean fire Kathleen Kennedy completely?
We'll get to Kathleen Kennedy. No,
Okay.
I'm saying when it comes to crafting the world of Star Wars as we know it, let them be in charge of that. Let them be in charge of the concept of Star Wars.
Do you not feel like Dave Filoni's already a huge part of the creative decision making?
I'd say Jon Favreau is too, but overall, the entirety of it needs to be there. I mean, he oversees Mandalorian, which is what really got things started when it comes to TV shows. Jon Favreau did it with Marvel too, and he disappeared from Marvel, and where are we now? So he is good at that. He also has created the best live action Disney movie for me of the cartoons with the Jungle Book. So they are the ones that can be the saviors for Disney, but there's plenty above them that has stopped it, and we'll get to Kathleen Kennedy obviously here at some point. But I think creatively they need to be in charge, and I would somewhat, I'm not ready to say like be completely in control, but I would somewhat do this with Bryce Dallas Howard as well. I feel like she's moving kind of behind the camera a little bit. She's done really good with a little bit that she's done for Star Wars, and obviously she comes from a good pedigree, and I know Ron Howard was attached to Solo, but that was a train wreck of a production that he came in on. So I don't necessarily hold that completely against the Howard name. But there's a lot of people out there. I thought the Taika Waititi aspect could be good, but then he's fallen off the planet.
He has absolutely gone off the rails.
So I would just say stick to those two and let those two make the decisions on where to go from there.
Speaking of making good decisions, our friends at Way to Wellness, a group that we're very proud to be partnered up with Leslie and her board-certified team, John.
Go to planforme.com. You see Tim weighing in right here. Leslie and her whole board-certified team helping us out. We are 80 pounds down combined. And Jim was grilling me on this today, how much exactly we had lost. I don't really know why he brought it up today, but
it's just what Jim does.
He's like, y'all are over 80 pounds down. It's like, yeah. It's like, so y'all aren't at 90 yet. And it's like, no, sorry, Jim. But anyway, we're getting there. Thanks to Leslie and our whole board certified team. You can see us get our blood pressure checked there. Tim looks so happy. Go to planforme.com. You too can get the plan to help you lose weight.
All right. Number 2 on Lentz's list, 5 friendly pieces of advice for Lucasfilm / Star Wars / Disney. All of that being encompassed in the same company, and it has not been pretty lately. You put number 4. This should be number 2. It happens. May the 4s be with you.
I don't understand
Speaking of that, we're moving forward, not backward for number 2.
Tyler, I love you, man.
I don't think that was.
I feel like we're bonding.
I don't think that was a compliment.
I think it was. Where are we at here? Number 2, move
Tyler
forward,
said,
not
move
backward. It literally is.
Backward. It's almost like I was reading the board.
Talk, John.
So I brought up how I've said this in our Acolyte reviews. I don't think even if they did the Old Republic, people would take to it. I think the best route to go if you're going to leave the era of the Skywalker saga, don't go backward in time, go forward in time. Because when you go forward in time, you have more freedom to create, as opposed to you're going to have a certain mindset going into everything old that is done for you. So I would rather see Star Wars 1,000 years after the Skywalker saga as opposed to 1,000 years before the Skywalker saga. We've had representation of that, and I'm sure there's books that have done that. I'm not big into reading all the books and like every single aspect of Star
What
Wars
about
canon.
at the same time at a different planet? I'm being serious.
I know you hate the comparisons.
We had that. It's called The Mandalorian.
But House of the Dragon's doing it really well, going back 200 years before.
House of the Dragon also has everything completely scripted out for them.
Yeah, Back to the Future went to the 1800s, and it sucked.
That is correct. Back to the Future Part 3.
That is true.
I didn't like part 3.
It was much better when they went forward in Back to the Future. So go forward, don't go backward. Go as far in the future as you can possibly imagine.
Like
do Star Wars there.
2015.
Because here's the thing. If what we got in the prequels, like from what we saw from the technology of the world, which I know was, hey, we have CGI now, we can do stuff. If you told me that was 1,000 years in the future, I'd have way more believed it than saying, hey, we're actually going to go like 50 years in the past. And all these robots are here, and they've never existed before. We don't know where they came from, but they're there. Like, it's more acceptable, I feel like, if you go forward.
All right, let's get to firing Kathleen Kennedy here at number 1.
She was the MTV VJ, right? Works for Fox News now.
An all-time great producer in Kathleen Kennedy. Steven Spielberg calls her the best producer that's ever lived.
Well, John's about to get rid of her.
But producer and studio head are two different things.
Yeah.
And I think it's time. I think it's time to say goodbye to Kathleen Kennedy. Let's hope John has come to the right conclusion as well. Number 1. Oh, this is very
Retirement.
intense.
You mean
Something.
chapter 1?
This is long.
Episode 1.
I don't think Kathleen Kennedy's name is that long. Greatest retirement party ever.
Love it. That's
For
really,
Skywalker.
Isn't that what the plot of the latest Indiana Jones movie was?
Oh,
Wasn't it a retirement party?
You know what they did in the latest Indiana Jones movie?
killed him.
They went backwards in time. They should have gone forwards in time. Has anybody seen the latest Indiana Jones movie?
I have
I
not.
gave up in 30
Nope.
minutes.
The whole thing is they find a thing that takes them back in time.
Dial of
to
Destiny.
Ancient Rome.
Dial of Destiny.
Is the Dial of Destiny. But it takes them back to like ancient Rome. It's a whole thing.
Okay.
Them and the Nazis go back to ancient Rome.
So
back to Megalopolis.
with the
Mads Mikkelsen's the bad guy who's the main bad Nazi in it.
with the new Indiana Jones, if they wanted to keep Harrison Ford, why couldn't they just have it where like he's
Alden
telling?
Ehrenreich plays him.
Well, I was just gonna say like have him like tell somebody about an
I understood
adventure
that.
and then cut to a younger actor like actually doing that.
Here's what happened. They wanted it to be Shia LaBeouf, and that fell off the face of the earth.
Well, the movie sucked.
What was Timothy Chalamet doing?
Dune.
He was dressing up as Bob Dylan.
A lot of things other than this.
Greener pastures.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. And I'll say it for all time. Kathleen Kennedy is one of the greatest minds in movies out there. First ballot Hall of Famer.
Was.
Overall career. I mean, you know, Brett
Yeah.
Favre wasn't great at the end either, but he's still, you know, pretty good quarterback.
He still took a lot of money.
But Kathleen
Mississippians.
Kennedy has done incredible things in cinema. She is one of the greatest names in cinematic history. So give her the world's greatest retirement party. Give her the largest, I don't know if you call it a golden parachute when you retire, but give her a giant check to go away.
Give her the Dial of Destiny.
It's a better investment than whatever you're investing into Star Wars right now. Do everything you can to get her to say thank you so much. Go find you an island somewhere and enjoy your retirement.
You've seen the show Succession. I feel like they were putting Dave Filoni in that spot to take her spot. And it ain't going well. And now they don't know how
Are they?
to
Because
move
she's
forward.
still there.
Are they? Yes, they were. And then they realized Dave Filoni's maybe not the answer. I think Dave Filoni has as much blood on his hands for the Acolyte as anybody.
He does not have as much blood on his hands for Star Wars as Kathleen Kennedy does.
He's been advanced in his position.
He has created very good Star Wars. She just pays for things. She writes the checks for things as the main poobah for Lucasfilm.
I don't know.
Now, I like Jon Favreau more. That's why I put his name first. I don't think Jon Favreau can do wrong.
Are you watching the Acolyte
Favreau
tonight?
just does great work outside of Star
That's
Wars.
what I'm saying. In
too,
general, I mean,
like,
with Marvel, he did it. He did it with the Jungle Book.
Jungle Book, yeah.
He cannot do
Cowboys
wrong.
and Aliens.
Chef is one of the best movies ever made.
PCU.
Are you watching The Acolyte tonight?
Yeah, I'll probably watch it.
Probably watch it. Are you watching The Acolyte tonight?
Come on,
Tyler?
I gotta wait.
Nope. I will wait unless
you have given
unless
him
we're
a
trying
pass.
to film a review early in the morning or something.
not.
I'll tell you
All
exactly.
right.
I'll tell you exactly when Tyler's going to watch the next 2 episodes of The Acolyte. Next Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Next Wednesday at about 10 a.m.
Okay.
You're not wrong.
You're gonna miss the 40 and 40. That's on you.
You can check out our Acolyte reviews that we have up on the channel, as well as our House of the Dragon reviews that we have up on the channel as we're watching both of those series. Rockstar, thankfully, you're only a part of one of those for your own sanity.
That's what I
because
heard. The Acolyte sounds awful.
Acolyte's not that great, but we will continue to make our way through it. Only a few more episodes to brave our way through, and I'm looking forward to getting past this chapter of whatever Star Wars fandom has become, which is even more polarizing and divisive after the release of The Acolyte. It is now time to test our friendships even further as we are ready for Tabletop Tuesday. John, I'm going to let you get all set up, and I'm going to have a nice conversation with Rockstars. We're getting ready here for Exploding Kittens. Do you remember how to play this game?
Yes, to an extent. We don't have to read the rules again, do we?
You don't have to read the rules.
I remember I was
It's not
first.
as bad as Triple Threat Trivia.
I remember I was eliminated. Wheel spin. I was eliminated first last time, so we'll see how this goes. I misplaced the card the first time. I didn't understand you had to have it as a package.
Yes, you have to have 2 cards
Yes.
to create the action on the card.
Now I know that, so I am fully prepared for Kittens to be exploding.
That is going to be a lot of fun.
Boom.
Are you a big fireworks fan, Rockstar?
No. I'm a big fireworks on phone. I like people to show me. If you go to something this weekend with your family and film it, fireworks, then show it to me Monday, because I love when people show me stuff or put it on Facebook.
Yeah. I can tell that you are not a fan of that. I don't understand the phenomena
No.
of...
And I used to live, literally, Vulcan was my front yard. And every year people would park in front of my apartment at 2 o'clock. And the thing at Thunder Mountain went till 9. People would just sit there from 2 o'clock with like little kids waiting in a parking lot for that thing. It's like,
Now, I'll be completely transparent. I love Thunder on the Mountain.
You just like the music they
Thunder
choose.
on the Mountain.
I've been triggered by it ever since me and
Yep,
Tim
we
and somebody
saved it
else.
one year.
We had to do the music for probably 8 or 9 when you count all AMs and other HD transistors and all radio stations. It was 3 of us, so we had to do basically like 2 or 3 stations a piece. We had to all launch it from, I think, WZCK, and then run to the other stations and kill the automation and pull it up real fast and like really, really fast right at 9 o'clock when it hit. We pulled it off because
we're pros.
We're pros like that. But
it was one of the best night of our radio careers, being able to sit back and watch that.
And because we got to
broadcast.
fill in on afternoon. That was like one of the first times I think we got to do afternoon drive because nobody was there going to be there on the 4th. So we're like, we'll go on the 4th. We'll do the radio that day. And so it was cool. But ever since then, it's like,
Now,
I don't really care about Thunder on the Mountain.
John, I was supposed to be talking with Rockstar while you got the game set up. Is the game set up?
I can't do it until I see the camera. So
Oh, okay.
thank you.
Sorry.
Keep talking amongst yourself.
We are talking.
Hey.
Yes, fireworks and concerts. People tend to pull out their phones and they record long segments of
Have
it.
you been to a concert where somebody has an iPad?
No, I haven't.
That's a good look. Filming on an iPad. No, I'm not a fan because unless it's something like the last time I saw Pearl Jam was at Fenway, and I took my phone out to record 5 seconds of a song, just like, hey, this is just for me that I was here. I didn't post it anywhere. I was like, this is just for a memory for me to remember this moment, not to do this the whole song and film a whole concert and then put it on my YouTube channel with bad audio quality. I think that, like, I can understand a couple of seconds, like, I want to remember this, and that's why I did it. So I don't think I've shown anybody. It's not a great footage. How are we doing on time, John?
Here's what I'm going to do.
This we're
Oh, I got to throw it to him.
we got a chair in the hallway. That's a broken chair.
This is broken?
That's my Mankind chair, isn't it?
I don't think so.
I think that's your McFoley chair.
I don't think it is.
I just don't know why we would have a folding chair like that up here if we didn't have.
Well, recently we had a folding chair for one of our Triple Threat Trivia competitors, and I put it back here just in case we ever needed it.
Who? Because my dad's only the one. He sat in one of this red chair right here.
I just feel like we had it here recently where I had to pull it in. But anyway, you take your time, John. All right. So let me remind you exactly how this game is played. In the deck of cards, there are some exploding kittens. You play the game by putting the deck face down and taking turns drawing cards until someone draws an exploding kitten. When that happens, that person explodes and they are out of the game. All the other cards will give you powerful tools to help you avoid exploding. This process continues until there's only one player left who wins the game. In order to get this game where we need it, we got to have the setup correctly executed, and this will be removing all the exploding kittens from the deck and setting them aside.
Gotta move all of them out of the deck.
We also have to remove all the diffuses from the deck
Diffuse.
and just deal one to each player. Then you insert the extra diffuses back into the deck.
So you like the Quiet Place, you said?
I did not.
Okay.
I was disappointed.
You've been disappointed by a lot this year.
There's been a lot of crap this year, Tyler. That's why I've been disappointed. Let's not forget, you gave the Bike Riders 4 out of 5.
What if there was an
How does that happen?
What if there was a
Said
Quiet
I'd
Place?
Move it down to 3.5.
What if there's a
That's
Quiet
fair.
Place in
That's
the
fair.
Acolyte universe?
I would not be a fan.
Am I doing shuffling and dealing?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do that too.
Don't you put the diffuses back in? What'd you tell them to do?
Yeah, you've got to give a diffuse to every player and then put the rest of the diffuses back into the deck. Have you taken the exploding kitten and done it right?
Guys,
Okay.
we're playing a game. Toots. I want this one.
Am I correct that there's only 3 exploding kittens in the deck?
There are none right now because I'm dealing.
He told you, Tim.
Well, I went to church one day.
Oh, let's see here. I don't know. Thankfully, we've played this game before.
Obviously.
5 cards, face down, to each player.
It's a 7.
That's 7. Oh, well.
Okay, so give 2 cards back.
Shuffle the deck and deal 7 cards face down to each player. Everyone should have a hand of 8 cards total, 7 cards, and 1 diffuse.
Okay.
Okay. Well, this is different.
Yes! Oh, yes.
All right, I will get our trusty pick'em out. See who goes first.
Rocky.
Oh.
Aw.
Rockstar, late to the party, but first to act.
Strategy. So I'm doing the first card.
Yes, and don't forget you will draw at the end of your turn. That'll be how you end your turn.
Oh, I gotta find out what this is.
Good luck, everybody.
Okay, I'm gonna pull so if I do this, see the future, you see the first 3 cards?
You can.
I can, but then does that, if I see the first 3 cards, I still have to do the top one? Or is the first 3 cards after that take the top one?
No, you
still
still
have
have
to
to draw at the end. You just get to see them and put them back.
Keep them in order.
Keep them in order.
Top. Second. Bottom. Top. Okay.
Third. Fourth. 82. Hut.
This is the top.
Hike.
Okay.
Okay. My turn. I'm going to go with Just gonna draw.
Just gonna draw.
All right, your turn, Tyler.
Alrighty. And there's like no limit to like how many cards we can play, right?
That is correct.
All right. So I'm gonna play this favor card.
Shop until you drop.
So Tim, give me a card of your choice. Go ahead and slide one over.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Why don't you slide another card my way, Timmy?
Wow. Wow.
Is it always me? Does it have to be me?
No.
You just want it to be?
Yeah, you're closer at this point.
I'll let everybody gang up on the champ here. The king is back.
All right. And then I'm going to play a pair of beard cats.
Oh, good.
So, Tim, hold out your hand. I'm going to...
What is this? Is this a hit?
It's called Exploding Kittens.
Joker's language. This way.
This. All right. And I'm going to play a pair of catermelons. Tim, you know the drill. Go with this one. All right. What we got? All right. Oh. I'm going to play this pair
you know the
of
drill?
hairy potato cats.
Oh my
Tim,
God.
let's see here. Alrighty. And then I
It's like at a Subway ordering for the whole construction site. He wants...
I'm gonna draw. I'll end
Okay.
my turn here. Alright.
Tyler, you're
Oh,
vicious
wait.
at this game.
I gotta show it immediately. I drew an exploding
gosh.
kitten. I gotta diffuse.
Okay, we gotta shuffle this.
You gotta shuffle it back in.
Actually, put it back in anywhere. Don't show anybody.
Okay.
Don't show
Okay.
anybody. Put it in anywhere you want. Don't show anybody where you're putting it. Not looking. All right, it's back in there. John, it is your turn.
All right. I'm going to play. Shuffle card just so Tyler didn't screw me. Or maybe this will screw me.
Tyler, can you move your phone? I feel like I'm staring into.
The abyss.
It's like Inception.
Yes.
And then I'm going to play 2 taco cats
Oh, taco cats. What does that mean?
to draw from Rockstar.
Thank you,
Oh,
John.
no, you give me a card. Sorry. You choose a card and give it to me, right?
Wait, no.
No.
If you play a pair of
Oh,
cats, you get
no,
to take
okay.
it.
Fan your cards out and I'll pick one. No, don't show them to me. You're still
What
showing
are you
them to me.
doing, Rockstar?
Doing.
This is how Pee Wee Herman would play card games.
And I will draw. Okay.
I'm going to do this one again. See the future? See the
Make sure you keep them in order.
top, middle, third.
Y'all keep eyes on this.
The one on the right, bring it.
All right, so this is the top,
God.
middle, third. So third,
Yep.
middle.
Oh.
I'm gonna disfuse that. So go.
So now you got to shuffle the
Yeah.
exploding card back in.
Don't look.
You don't have to shuffle it. You can place it anywhere you want.
Don't look.
Not looking.
Stop looking.
You keep showing us
You're the one that
everything.
showed it to me.
Shut up. Oh, yeah.
All right. So your turn is done.
Yes.
Here we go. Okay.
You just drew and that was it.
I just drew and that was it.
All right. I am going to see the future real quick. So that's top, middle, bottom.
Just stack them.
Okay.
He stared at the third one for a long time.
All right, now what are you going to do, Sir Tyler?
I thought regardless you had to take the top one.
If he
At the end of his turn,
he has a chance to play an action card now if he wants.
Whoa, guys. It's not some exploding attitudes.
We all are very competitive.
All right, John, your turn.
All right, I just gonna draw.
Just gonna draw.
Okay, Rocky.
How do I draw? Okay.
See the future.
You better do it differently than us.
Top,
I knew he was going to do it.
middle, bottom. Your turn, Tyler.
All right. I'm gonna play my favorite card. Give me a card of your choice, Tim.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna draw. Alrighty.
All right, I am going to play
Nobody's been blurnt up yet.
nothing, and I'm going to draw.
Wait, what's that exploding card over there?
I left out.
Oh, gotcha.
Attack, you have to draw. I don't do anything. You have to take the next 2 turns.
I'm gonna say nope to that. Reverse back to you.
All right. Attack, you have to take the next 2 turns.
I'm gonna say nope to that.
Okay.
Back to you.
I'm going to say nope to that.
Can you nope a nope?
You can nope a nope.
Okay.
You can nope at any time. It's like I could have noped or you could have noped potentially in there too.
Oh.
I'm gonna shuffle the draw pile.
Okay, so you have to take 2 after you shuffle, right? Or after your action's done. No, you have to do 2 turns, right?
That means 2 cards. I have to draw 2 cards, basically.
Yeah.
It says, do not draw any cards. Force the next player to take 2 turns.
Yeah. Like you can draw a card and then play and then draw another card if you wanted to. It's not just 2 cards at once.
All right, so that's your one. Ooh.
Let me get it. Guys, I got it. Your big ass feet.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm gonna diffuse. Place this back in.
I wouldn't place it on top.
It's probably not a good idea. Okay. I'm gonna hold this one. It's your turn, Tyler.
I'm scared. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play this shuffle card.
Ooh, that's a tense
You
moment
want
right
me
there.
to shuffle or you want to shuffle?
I'll shuffle.
Try not to show everybody on that side of the board what's being.
Be pretty bad if I just pulled out the bomb right now.
It's possible. Happened to me.
All right, so I shuffled it up, and you gotta be kidding me. I'm
You're
out.
done?
You don't have a
Yeah,
diffuse?
I don't have another diffuse. I only had
So
the one.
that stays in there now because he's dead.
Yeah, because there should be 2 left for the 2 of us, or 3 of us.
Okay.
All right.
Now it's John's turn.
All right.
I have 25 cards.
You have 3 cards. I'm gonna draw. Go straight to the draw. Okay.
I can't do anything but draw. Okay.
Okay, your turn, John.
I'm just gonna skip myself.
Okay.
I want to skip myself.
Take the card.
Woo!
Oof.
Comes down to this, John.
All right. I'm going to attack you.
Okay.
Oh.
You have to draw 2 cards. Or you have 2 turns.
Unless you have a nope.
I don't. God. Okay. Is this still my turn though?
No, once you draw your second card, you're done.
Okay.
All right. That didn't work. I'm going to draw.
I get to unleash the Pterodactyl.
I will say nope.
You've got a nope, you can play it.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. It's not my turn anymore after I draw, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
I'm going to play the favor card and make you give me one of your choice. Right. All right. And then I'm going to play the Howry Potato Cat.
What does that do?
Hold your cards up and I get to draw one. No, don't show them to me.
I'm not. I'm pulling them down. I don't like that guy.
All right. Then I'm going to play the Rainbow Ralphing Cat times 2.
And what is that?
Same thing. Get to choose your cards.
I wish we had a camera on that.
And then
Oh my God.
I'm going to draw. Okay.
It's over. Congratulations,
I gotta pick up
John.
my kid.
You win. John, everyone can be a winner to our title sponsor. That's MyBookie.
Go to mybookie.ag, promo code next round, and you too can have a killer hand like I had. I literally could not miss this game with multiple diffusers in my hand if I ever did draw a bomb, but I didn't draw a bomb. So go to mybookie.ag, promo code next round, and you can be a winner to use promo code next round.
Don't forget Triple Threat Trivia documentary unveiled tomorrow. Everyone loved that sneak peek earlier in today's show. If you missed it, you can check it there. We appreciate all of our lovely Meltdonians. Have a happy and safe 4th of July. We'll be back with a live show next week. Hope everyone has a wonderful time at the Cineplex if that is where you choose to spend your 4th of July holiday, as we will see you back on the Meltdown very shortly here, as we're going to have a lot of shorts with Tyler coming out of the theater reviewing a bunch of stuff. Have a great 4th, everybody, from the Meltdown.